I want to turn the debate towards India and its position in the global order. Fifth largest economy on its way to grow at near 8%, 3 years of consecutive 7% growth. No other country, large economy in the world has had that kind of growth. But very clearly, if we have to go ahead, we have China and the world's investment, especially in manufacturing in China. In your reckoning, where does China and the Chinese economy stand at this point of time? And what can India do to sort of benefit from the strategy where people all across the world are de-risking their supply chains?
Well, you're correct. China is depressed right now. China had the virus, and China had a property bubble. China had one of the biggest property bubbles in world history. They tried to stop it, but they were not successful. Then the market stopped it, and the Chinese property market is a huge disaster right now, one of the biggest disasters ever. So China has the problem of two things: the virus, the COVID virus, and the property disaster. It is hitting bottom. It's going to take a while. After any country has a huge bubble like China had, it takes a while. You bump along the bottom for a while, several years sometimes. So I see that China's doing better or stopped doing worse, but I anyway would not be rushing to buy a lot of Chinese shares right now because they had a huge bubble.
What we'll show you, ladies and gentlemen, is a graph of how our markets, the US markets, and in particular the Chinese market has performed over the last 3 years, and they actually are absolutely in sync with what Jim has been talking about. You'll just see the graphic coming in front of you. The returns on the Nifty have been fantastic, followed by the US markets, and sadly, the Chinese markets are depressed, as Jim says. But Jim, for us, paint a picture. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if the FDI flows come in, if what Mr. Modi promises in terms of changes in the macroeconomy, in the laws, happen to take place, where do you see India from now, 10 years later?
Well, I will repeat, if Delhi does what it says what it's doing, and it makes the currency convertible, and it makes the markets investable by everybody, wow, India is going to be spectacular. Much of the world maybe have a bear market in that time, but if India continues to open up, and if Delhi does what it says it's doing, it's going to help and encourage manufacturing. Why not? You have the largest population in the world. You have a lot of very smart people. Those universities in India turn out a lot of smart people. So if Delhi is supportive, and really supportive, now, India will be great. But see, I have a history. I remember, some of you might remember in 1990, the world was opening up. So Delhi said, we're going to open too. We're going to privatize, like everybody else in the world was doing. The communists were privatizing everybody. Delhi privatized one company, and it was a bakery. I mean, I said to myself, what is wrong with those? What's wrong with them? Why don't they privatize the whole economy like everybody else? Now, that has changed. This is not 1990 anymore. And as I said to you before, and I will say again, if Delhi really does what it says it's doing, wow, India is going to be a phenomenal country again.